Hi, today we're going to deploy DataStax Enterprise, or DSE, on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, OCI. DSE is an enterprise version of the open source Cassandra Apache project. That's an operational data store, a wide column database, and it supports a variety of different modes of operation, including a graph database, a search capability, and an analytics functionality based on Spark. A bunch of really interesting companies use DataStax to run core parts of their infrastructure, including large Fortune 500 firms like Comcast, Walmart, and ING. All right, let's get started deploying this. First off, you'll want to navigate to github.com/cloudpartners. And this is where we're storing Terraform modules to deploy a variety of different ISV solutions. So navigate to the OCI DataStax one. Currently it's a pinned repository, but that may not always be the case. So you can always search for it by typing DataStax in the little search bar here. And that's the result. And we click on it to navigate to the repository. I'm going to need to make a local copy of this repository in order to deploy it. So I'm going to go over here to clone or download and copy the URL for that. With that copied, I can switch over to my terminal window and I can run the command git clone the address of the repo. So that's all copied down now, and I can change directory in there, look around, and this is just, as you would expect, a local copy of that public GitHub repo. There's a README in here that describes in detail how to deploy this, but all we need to do is go over here to the simple directory, and you can see in here a variety of different Terraform files. I've already done some pre-setup prior to this. That's detailed in our OCI prerequisites repo. So my terminal's all set up to run Terraform, to do deploys and all. I also have that hooked up to an OCI account. Be sure to check out that repo if you need more details on how to do all that. But with all those prerequisites done, it's super simple to get this up and running. I need to run Terraform init, and that's going to reach out and grab the latest Terraform provider from HashiCorp. The OCI provider is now like a fully fledged sort of top-level provider up there, which is great. Means you don't have to do any additional install work. So that's now all installed, and this directory is all set up. And if you run an ls-a, you can see .terraform and all. It's dumped some more config files in here. So now I can run a Terraform plan. And what this is going to do is it's going to show me what Terraform's going to do when it runs. And you can see it's going to make a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to make network stuff. That's a whole bunch of base64 encoded user data to actually install DataStax, and so on. But let's just get started and get it running. So if I type Terraform apply, it's now going to prompt me to say, are you sure you want to do all this? I say yes. It starts running and deploying and creating all this stuff up on OCI. This is going to take about 5 minutes to run. At that point, it'll print out URLs for DataStax Ops Center as well as Lifecycle Manager. Those URLs may not be immediately accessible. It's probably going to take about another 10 minutes after they're printed for the DataStax setup to complete, at which point Lifecycle Manager will be accessible. All right, so Terraform just finished running, and you can see it printed out 2 URLs. One of those is for Lifecycle Manager, and another for Ops Center. So let's grab the Lifecycle Manager URL out of here and flip over to a web browser. And I'm just going to paste that URL in, hit enter, And I get a warning that the certificate basically isn't properly certified. That's because it's just a self-signed cert that was generated on this server, you're probably good to ignore that and continue on. So now it prompts for username and password, and I didn't change anything in the default config, so the variables.terraform specified a username and password of admin. So hit that, don't really need to remember that. And I get this welcome to DataStax Ops Center. And that means the build is still running, the background script's still going. So we're gonna need to give this a few more minutes to finish its thing. That said, in the meantime, we can take a look at what it's doing. So I'm gonna go back over here to the terminal, and I'm gonna grab the IP address of our Ops Center node. So we're deploying one node running Ops Center, and this config, once again specified in the variables.tf, is deploying another 3 nodes running DataStax. So I can connect up to that by running an SSH-I, and I'm gonna need to specify the directory that has my keys in it. And then these boxes are running Ubuntu, so the default username is Ubuntu at that IP address. So I'll connect up to that, and you can see I connected in. So it says, welcome to Ubuntu 16, blah, blah, blah. Right. So I'm gonna sudo su so I can get access into the Cloud Init logs. And if I change over here to var log and take a look, you can see a couple different files. But the one we're really interested in is Cloud Init output, because this is all the user data that was run on deploy. And we can see it's gone through and it's done a bunch of things. This JSON printed out, it looks like it's interacting with Lifecycle Manager, but not quite done yet. Okay, so let's give it a few more minutes and then check back on it. Okay, so let's give this another shot. Let's cat the log again, and we can see how done it is. Okay, well, let's flip over to the web browser and take a look at Ops Center here. Okay, so let's check out one more thing. We're going to grab the IP of one of these nodes, and this is its public IP. So I'm going to copy that, and let's go back over to our terminal and let's SSH into this guy. So I'm going to exit out of here, and then I'm going to replace the IP address of the Ops Center node with the IP address of this DSE node. SSH into that, yeah, sure, accept that, that's no big deal. And this box should be running DSE. So we can take a look. Let's run CQL shell. Oh, right, we need to specify our username and password. -p admin. Oh, username by default is Cassandra, isn't it? All right, so let's there we go. So connected up to CQL shell, and now we can run like a describe key spaces, say, and see that there are various things installed, including like Ops Center as a key space. No big shock there. Thanks so much for watching this video on how to deploy DSE on OCI. For more information, check out the links below.